All right, everyone, and hello, and welcome to number 223, Beotodus, the 20th anniversary Monster Hunter Countdown. Really sad to see him here. Sad to see a Monster Hunter World monster this far down the list. Also sad because he's a really great monster. There's definitely not the worst monster in Monster Hunter World. Great armor, great fight, useful armor, useful weapons. He's just useful and fun all around, like definitely the best Leviathan in the game. Armor style looks really good. It's not often you see like a real full armor set on the female armor pieces, so it's really great to see. Great design on the palicos too, like they did not need to go this hard. He's got a snowboard. He's got his boxer shorts sticking out his pants. It's really, really funny. Not the strongest ice weapon for the cats, unfortunately. I think that's the Shrieking Legiana, but, you know, you can get away with it if you really wanted. You wanted to bring him along to Elatrion. But overall, he's the first... Well, he doesn't have to be the first Master Rank monster you fight, but if he is, you know, things like his Tacit, you almost always make his Tacit. But even if you make all the other things, you know, there's pretty good slots and things like that. His hit zones in general, also great for teaching you about Iceborne. You know, tenderizing his head, tenderizing his body, and or wallbanging him are all really effective at making him a more reasonable fight. Also takes great poison damage. Kind of cool. Not bad overall. So yeah, I usually start every fight by wallbanging him. I mean, that's what they want you to do. And then, you know, if you don't want to attack the legs or if you want to get your weakness exploit boost, you want to tenderize him here. I guess this is the first video. We're going to talk about it a lot throughout this series. Clutch Claw is mostly universally hated, at best tolerated by the majority of players. I would say when the game first came out and we only had 90 seconds of tenderized length, it was pretty bad. It was very tedious, and especially without Clutch Claw boost, it was definitely not fun to play with. Now that we have the Shaver Charm and the Shaver Deco, and you can tenderize in one hit, plus now that all the tenderized zones last for 3 minutes, I'd say it's not as bad as you remember it. In general, you'll only be doing some tenderizing once per zone. Monsters give you plenty of openings to do it, even if they're not in the Claw Stagger animation. And, you know, the monsters were designed for it. I prefer being able to walk up and attack the monster. But, you know, it adds some depth. Whether or not that is depth that you want in your Monster Hunter game, you know, it's hard to say. You know, they're always trying to cook over at those Monster Hunter teams. They're always trying to be like, what can we do to add more to the series? I'm like, I'm a #1 fan of the older games, but, you know, even starting with Exhaustion, you can find, you know, it does make the game easier. That doesn't mean that we should never have gone past Freedom Unite. It's just that we want to see monsters do more things. By the way, that attack there, where he flops out of the ground, that's his biggest hitting move. He hits hard. But, you know, with health boost, it barely hurt us. It only took off half of our life. Don't know that there's too many people got mega walled on Beotodus. Even though he is a master rank monster, most of his moves don't scale that much harder than kind of the harder hitting high rank monsters, which is probably the way it should be. Technically, he does not need to be the first master rank monster you fight. If you go to Estera and you talk to the Elder Melder, she'll give you quests for, I think, Beotodus and Great Baggy. Not Great Baggy, oh my god. Great Jaggy. Great Jaggy's got really good armor too. But he's also a lot more popular, so kind of works out like that. Weird ending there. I would show his item carves, but the descriptions are all very boring. So instead, I will show you his cooking flesh This is some of the greatest parts of Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. Just the little things you can find out in the wilderness. This is the Boa Boa camp. Delicious. All right. That's it for Beotodus. I love him. Underappreciated. Hunt a Beotodus in his honor and learn to love him and appreciate him. Up next, Rust Dormboros. Not a surprise for him. One-off subspecies in one game that you can't really play anymore. That's it. I love you. Goodbye.